Hello and welcome to One in a Million, the podcast with Lotto from the National Lottery, where we speak to a bunch of professional winners about how we can get more winning into our life. Let us begin. I'm really excited about this one. She is extremely glamorous. They describe themselves as a helium balloon in the shape of a woman. I describe them as a person with the extraordinary ability to eat 8 to 10-inch hot dogs in 2.5 minutes. Can you even imagine? And maybe you know them better as Ginger Johnson, crowned the iconic queen of RuPaul's Drag Race and star of Ginger's House on iPlayer. It's Ginger. Hello.
That's me. Hello.
Tell me about the hot dogs instantly.
Well, you know, it's just a natural talent that I have.
When did you first discover this talent?
I'd just finished at drama school and I decided I was going to go and be a serious actor.
Yeah.
And then it very quickly turned out that I could not take myself seriously enough to be a serious actor. So I sort of fell in with a crowd of like live art, performance art, drag, cabaret creatures. And one of my first acts that I made was that I would open the jar of hot dogs and pop the lid of it into the microphone. And then I would play this sort of Latin jazz song. And then I would just down them. So some I would snap them in half and put the two halves in. One I would throw it up into the air and sort of catch it and it would go straight
like
in.
Like a labrador?
Yeah, or
Amazing.
like a seal.
Yeah.
And in my handbag, I had like a bottle of ketchup. I would sort of cover myself in the ketchup. Then I had a raw onion. I would take a bite of the raw onion. And then to finish off the act, I would down the brine out of the hot dog jar, which eventually gave me salt poisoning. Okay. So I had to stop doing it.
What a happy ending.
Yeah.
Wow. Did that act go down well?
Oh, yeah.
So how did the hot dogs wind their way into Ginger Johnson being created? Or was Ginger Johnson
Oh, no, this was Ginger Johnson.
Right.
Yes.
Adolescent years.
Yes. So, got the job on the tour, performing the hot dogs act again and again and again and again. Got salt poisoning. Decided that I had to retire the act, otherwise I wasn't going to survive. Sure. So I thought, I'll make a video of this show so that I've got it, so that in years' time I can look back on it and go like, this is where it all started. Yeah. And also I was quite proud of it at the time. As ridiculous as that sounds, I was quite proud of it as a thing. So made a video of it, uploaded it onto YouTube, completely forgot about it. Never once thought about it again. Then 9 years later, I got a job presenting a breakfast show. And I decided to go back through the internet and just like tidy up some of the mess around on the internet. Because, you know, I come from a generation of people who put literally every single thing they've ever done on the internet. Found the video and it had 100,000 views, which was significant because every other video on my channel had less than 10 views. Right. And they were all me. Yes. So did a bit of digging and found out that the reason why it had all these views was the video had been discovered by a community of people who like to see people covered in mess and food. It's called sploshing.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. And I sort of got covered in ketchup during the thing. So it turned out that for 9 years, while this video had been on the internet, there were people all over the world really enjoying it.
You're a sploshing pin-up.
Yes, basically. So that was a bit of a moment of reckoning for me. And I turned it into a show in the end called Good Clean Fun, where I met a load of people who do that professionally for a living, who make that content specifically. And they mentored me in how to do it. And I learned all about it. I learned things like the sweeter foods are kind of like your jellies, your ice creams, your custards. Yeah. That's kind of the gateway side of it. Right. If you're a real hardcore splosher, we're talking savouries. Oh. We're talking mushy peas, baked beans, curry sauce, gravy. Yeah.
Wow. That is a different vibe, isn't it?
Very, very
Chocolate
different.
Sauce and mushy peas.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. So I made the show and they all mentored me in how to do it. And in a way to try and sort of reclaim this thing that had happened to me, that I had put out as a funny comedy video and had been completely derailed into something else. I purposefully made a load of sploshing stuff.
Yeah.
So that's how the hot dogs, it takes an even darker turn than you could possibly expect. But, you know, I met the people that I met that do it for a living. It really changed my perspective about myself and my body image and how I felt about that side of myself and how public that side of myself was, because it forced me to accept that that was out there.
Yeah.
And meeting these really inspiring, amazing women who do it for a living and hearing their reasons for doing it and how it's sort of emancipated them in some ways, and they've managed to make a living from doing it. It was a really amazing experience in the end. It felt kind of horrible in the middle section of it.
Yeah.
But by the time I got to the end of that story, I had a real appreciation for what people do with their lives and how much of themselves they're willing to share with people, just in a different way to what I do.
Did you keep the video up?
No, I took it down because it became part of the show.
Okay.
And I didn't want people to be able to find it before they'd come to see the show. But I also remade it. So I made like a more high production version of it.
Better lighting.
Yeah. way better lighting. More ketchup, more hot dogs.
Oh my gosh. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Massively going to go and Google sploshing as soon as I leave this chair.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Put private browsing on.
Okay. You've made an incredible first impression with me today.
Thank
Tell
you.
me about your fierce first impression when you were on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh, it was wild. It's crazy. Even thinking about it now, it makes me so nervous.
Does it?
Yeah, just to think about it. I remember really clearly on the first day waiting to walk into the workroom, and there's a mirror just beside the entrance to the workroom where you can sort of check yourself out in the mirror. And I looked in that mirror just before I went on, and I thought, you look amazing. I was like, this is the most amazing you've ever looked. You're going to have a whale of a time. You're going to absolutely smash it. I walked out into the workroom, did my entrance line, turned around and saw everybody else there and thought, oh my God, I fucked this. Because they were all so stunning and the talent was clearly huge. And I thought, wow, this is going to be a really, really big hill. I didn't know how well my drag was going to fit into that whole thing.
Why did you say that?
I don't think I am the Drag Race archetype, let's say. But, you know, I think that's what really helped me do well in the end, because I was really quite different from everybody else that was on the shows. Because I never in a million years thought I was going to win. Yeah. Never. I thought if I was really lucky, I'd maybe get halfway and I'd get to show a bit of what I'm about. And, you know, maybe that would help me out in the world with jobs and things like that. Yeah. And then I won 3 challenges in a row. And the third one of those, I think the third one was Snatch Game that I won.
Who were you in Snatch Game?
I was Barbara Cartland.
Oh, amazing!
And I had a real moment. Up until that point, I'd been so nervous about being there that it hadn't really dawned on me that I was on Drag Race. Because even though you're in the workroom and it's all happening around you, you're in the big pink box and RuPaul stood 6 feet away from you, it still hadn't really landed with me that that was what I was doing. But sat at that iconic set of the Snatch Game in the outfit, holding the cards with Ru to one side, I had this real out-of-body experience where I was like, this is it. You're on Drag Race and you're winning. So
and when you got to the final and it was you found out it was you.
Yeah.
What was that moment like?
Oh, well, it's a long time coming, you know? It takes a long time to get to that point. Even after you've filmed it, you know, there's a big gap before it actually happens. And again, I was convinced it wasn't going to be me. I was absolutely convinced. So there's a clip of me finding out, you know, you watch it in a special screening and they record your reaction to it. And I watch it sometimes. I don't know if that's a bad thing to admit, but I do watch it sometimes because it's such a defining moment in my life now.
Yeah, of course you would.
And it's so, when I look at myself on there, I'm like, wow, this is so real. It feels so real. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it.
Do you feel like, is it sort of cathartic in a way to win? Is it a bit of a Is it a bit of an up yours to anyone from your past, perhaps, or to maybe you when you were younger? Like you've done it.
I've come to accept myself more as a human and as a queer person. You know, you relax into yourself the more you get older, and I'm hoping there's more of that to come as well, because I could do with relaxing a bit more, to be honest. Life is just colouring in. You know, like the lines are all there. Things are going to happen. They're going to happen around you. You can turn the page and it might not be the picture you were expecting, but you can just colour that in however you feel like. So that's why I'm sat here looking like this.
I love it. It's fabulous.
I've always thought I'd love to have a colouring book, a Ginger Johnson colouring book, where everything was completely coloured in except the hair. And you get one orange crayon with the book. You just go through and colour in the hair.
I love the idea that you feel like you and Ginger are sort of coming together now. And then winning when you feel like that is even better, because it's like it's really you who you're showing. And that must be... Oh, a lovely little feeling to revel in that one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. It was like a prize draw at the newsagents where I did my paper round.
Oh, wow.
And now when I look back on it, there did used to be complaints about how late I was delivering the newspapers because I really liked sleeping, funnily enough. And I have wondered since, did they give me the bike to try and hurry me up? I wouldn't put it past them. Good business move for them, you know.
I remember winning, when I was at university, I won £1,000 on a TV show.
Oh, wow.
It was like call in and answer some questions, and I won £1,000. And I treated my then boyfriend to a slap-up dinner at Cafe Rouge.
Oh, balling.
I was so fancy back then.
And then after I won the show and I came out of it, that part of me where all that wishing and dreaming had lived sort of became empty a little bit, which didn't feel bad, because what it meant was it left space for me to find a new dream to try and, you know, run towards. And that's what my new show is about, that I'm just on tour with at the moment. It's called Ginger Johnson Blows Off. Tick Drag Race off the list. That's it. Now I want to be the most dangerous woman in the UK. Okay. So the show is all about me putting myself through these death-defying stunts.
On stage?
Yeah. Yeah, building up to me being fired out of a cannon at the end of the show.
Doing dangerous
yes, it's incredibly dangerous. And actually, after we did the previews, we had to do a bit of work to make it seem a bit less dangerous, because it was too scary to watch it happening. I'm playing Russian roulette with confetti cannons that are full of drawing pins.
Ginger!
Yeah.
Bring back the hot dogs!
And there's loads of fire, and then it leads up to me shooting myself out of a cannon at the end of the show.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. So
are you nervous to perform it?
No, I love doing it. I love doing it.
Have you ever had any mishaps with any of the stunts?
There was one night where there were a few little things that have sort of gone awry. There was a prop that wasn't in the right place, and then there was a tech cue that didn't quite come on time, and we got to one of the very dangerous points in the show, and I did have a moment where I had to sort of shut my eyes and look up to the drag gods and think, please don't let this go wrong. Please don't let it go wrong. But no, we've had no problems at all, apart from the other night I did just fall flat on my face, but that was me being an idiot. Not anything to do with the dangerous stunts that we were doing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So what do your friends and family make of all of this?
They're absolutely sick to death of me. Obviously they are. When I called my mum and told her I was going to shoot myself out of a cannon, I think she was a little bit concerned about that.
Was she there when you, like, for a viewing party for when you were announced as the winner?
No, she wasn't. Because it's secret. It's all very enclosed. She wasn't there, but I spoke to her afterwards.
When you told her, what was her reaction?
She was like, "Well, of course you did." Of course you won.
And she always had faith, your mum?
Yes, completely. And actually, after the show finished, lots of people that are really close to me said, "Well, we knew you were going to win. You were obviously going to win." And I wish I could have got in with that confidence that they all had, because I was terrified. Every night you walk out on stage, it's another baptism of fire every time you go to do it. You still get hard nights. You still have nights where you're just not quite on the ball, and you've got to pull it back.
But sometimes I will say it is the audience's fault.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
100%.
No, 9 times out of 10.
We're awful. Right, time for a game.
Tell me.
My Lotto Life. It's the game we've all played. When you chat to a friend on a car journey, what if you were to win the Lotto jackpot,
Yes.
what would you spend it on? Who are you telling? Are you telling anyone?
I think I probably have to tell my partner.
Yeah.
Because I think they might get quite suspicious when I started flashing the cash. Otherwise.
When the cats suddenly have diamond collars.
Yes, exactly. I'd probably tell the cats first.
Right,
Because
okay.
they're good at keeping secrets.
What else would you like to spend it on? Is there any sort of
Alpaca farm.
Oh, right.
Straight off. I was at a wedding recently. My friend got married on an alpaca farm, and they are the stupidest creatures you've ever come across.
They look so silly.
They're so ridiculous. They've got necks like pipe cleaners. They bobble along like idiots. Obsessed. I want 100 of them.
Okay.
I want 100 of them, and I want them all wearing jumpers knitted out of alpaca wool.
Okay.
Like we're doing full alpaca fashion show, all in drag, obviously.
Of course.
Wigs for the alpacas.
Okay.
They don't need the false eyelashes. They've got beautiful
they
eyelashes. If anything, I'll pluck those and have them for myself. You
And
know.
where's the alpaca farm going to be? Do you want to stay in the UK? Do you think you'd go abroad?
No, I think I'll stay in the UK. Maybe like Scottish Highlands.
Oh,
yeah.
lovely.
Spent a lot of my childhood up in the Scottish Highlands. Absolutely love it up there. Not a great fan of people in general.
No, awful.
Not a lot of people up there.
Lovely.
And they have great summers as well. You know, there's beautiful weather there too. So
Okay,
yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
In your new house at the alpaca farm, is there anything around the house that you hate doing? Is there a chore you would like to outsource?
All of it.
Yeah.
Every single bit of it.
Yeah.
You ever tried putting a rubber glove over these nails?
No, I
That's
can't.
not
How do you do
good.
anything with those nails? They are so
I
long.
don't. That's what's great about them.
Yeah. Sorry, darling.
Sorry. You're far too glamorous to do that.
So, okay, you've got someone to do all the domestic stuff.
Yeah, most of it. I mean, there's something. I do actually quite like the washing up. The washing up is quite.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do my mindfulness while I do the washing up.
How do you do mine? What do you do? Just quiet?
No, maybe nice podcast on in the background. Probably this one from now on.
Yeah, it's
you know,
great. You should.
what's better than listening to a podcast with yourself on it?
Oh my God, I've done that. In that vein. That's so vain. Isn't it? Or do you ever leave a voice note to someone and then immediately listen back to
Of
the voice?
course you do.
Because it's the best podcast of all time.
Yes.
Would winning the Lotto jackpot help you achieve any sort of bucket list goals?
We're moving to Vegas. The alpacas are coming with me.
They're in the show. Yes.
Yeah, no, they're giving out the tickets,
Right.
selling the popcorn, and yeah, I've got like multi-million-pound, top of the range theatre,
Love it.
and I'm like main stage magician. That's
Okay.
what I'll be.
With your Lotto jackpot, is there any one that you would like to buy something lovely for?
I think the thing we'd both want
Yeah.
is lots more cats, like army
I
of
thought you were going to say
cats.
cash.
No,
But no,
cats.
Love that.
Lots more cats.
Right.
Yeah, like 15 of them. My cats currently are very small cats, and I have a dream of getting some very big cats so they can like ride around on top of them and stuff like that. Maybe a little chariot on the back of them and the little small cats on the back, you know?
I want to come over to your
Yeah,
house.
you're welcome. Come
So
anytime you like.
badly.
Yes.
What would you do for you? How would you treat yourself? Real good.
I'd love to own an original screen-used Muppet character. I'm obsessed with the Muppets.
Not expecting. Amazing.
I love puppets, and I do lots of puppets in my shows,
do
and I
you?
build puppets.
Oh, wow.
And Miss Piggy is my #1 icon in the universe.
Oh my gosh.
So I'd love to own a Miss Piggy. That would be really, really fun. But I don't know if that's even a thing
that's
that
a
you.
thing,
It depends
yeah.
how much money I've got. I mean,
Have you done could you do Miss Piggy in Snatch Game?
no, because she's a copyright character.
Oh,
Yeah.
spoil your man. Okay, right, an original Muppet. I think
Yeah.
that would be able to. We'd be able to source
Somewhere.
someone's got one
somewhere.
lurking in a
Or
cupboard.
like one of Houdini's handcuffs. I love magic as well. So I think like ephemera, props and things that
Right.
have come from people that are my icons.
Do you have any of that stuff now? Some people do collect memorabilia in that respect.
I have every prop and puppet and costume that's ever been used in anything I have ever done.
And they're just stuffed into cupboards.
Yes, yeah.
open
I
it.
got an amazing thing recently. My manager bought me an amazing gift, which was the Miss Piggy calendar that came out in I think it's like really early 80s, and I haven't actually opened it yet. I've been saving it for a special occasion because I know it's going to be a religious experience. But it's they're all fake magazine covers featuring Miss Piggy. So I think that's maybe the most precious thing of that I've got. And I've got a Lucille Ball Barbie, because Lucille Ball is one of my absolute icons. She inspired me in the very first place. Ginger Johnson really came from Lucille Ball.
Oh, wow.
And I've got the one that Barbie did a collection of dolls of Lucy in some of her iconic episodes. And there's one where she's standing against a wheel having knives thrown at her. And she's like this. And they've painted that expression onto the doll. So I've got that as well.
In a review once, someone described me as Brentwood's answer to Lucille Ball. And I
Oh,
was like,
wow.
that's the best quote ever.
That does not get any
That's
better.
a really good one,
That's
isn't it?
amazing.
Oh, I love that you've got all this stuff. That's so great. Oh my God, I want to come and see one of your shows so badly. Okay, winning numbers. This is our next game.
Yes.
So we've all got favourite numbers, whether it's, your favourite number of Boeing aircraft or... We've all got one.
Wow.
Or our favourite numerical name character from Stranger Things, or the number of fake breasts we own, which is
6.
6. I'm glad it's an even number. Have you got a favourite pair?
They've all been put out to pasture, actually. I need some new ones.
You need new boobs.
Yeah, I need new ones.
Why are they
Well, the previous ones are a bit big for me now, and it's a lot of work carrying them around, even if
Heavy.
it's only for a couple of hours a night.
They are
It's
heavy.
hard work.
I know what you mean. Oh, well, with a Lotto win, you could afford some new. So, favourite numbers. Do you have some? Hit me.
I'm going to start off with number 1.
A classic.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
I'm choosing it because my new series, Ginger's House, that's coming out, was filmed in this amazing location house, which is basically a house that hasn't been touched since the 1970s. And I've had it saved on my computer for about 6 years as a place that I really want to go and do something. And it is number 1 in the street of houses where that was.
Yeah.
And it's the whole series was a whole dream to make, and I've loved doing it. I'm so happy that it's out there. So number 1 is my first one.
Is it proper, so 70s, is it, classic avocado bathroom, that sort of thing?
It's pink. It's pink and red. It's quite a lot like this, actually. Pink and red and tiled, and it's got an alcove bath, and it's got an oyster shell toilet. It's like, it's everything to me. And it's not like cartoon 1970s. It's not like brown and orange lava lamp wallpaper. It's like real deal, untouched 1970s house. It's stunning.
Oh my gosh, I want to see that.
It's really fab.
Lovely. Okay, right, that's down. Number 1, you're in. What's next?
Number 5.
Yes.
Because that is my series of Drag Race. Series 5. It'll always be a number for me now. Also, 5 times table, easily the best and easiest times table. Always used to really struggle with my times tables, but could always do the 5 times tables.
2's pretty easy. 10.
For you.
Sorry, I am an intellect. I forgot for a second. I love it because I think everyone has. I've spoken about this before. I do think everyone has a favourite times table.
Oh, yeah,
They
gotta
might
have
not
one.
know they do, but they do.
Yeah, deep down.
7. Thank you.
Good.
Next.
Number 16. 16 is how many years I've been doing drag. Now, that's how many years I've been doing drag when I won Drag Race. Feels like the optimum amount of time because that's when the win came in.
Yeah.
Been through in that. There was a big period of that where I wasn't Ginger Johnson. I was a completely other character called Little Jimmy Johnson, who was like a club kid, kind of inspired by the 90s club kid scene and Lee Bowery and all of that kind of set. And I used to do these mad sort of Elizabethan period costumes, and I had a bowl cut and these eyebrows in the shape of S's, and I used to like hang from the ceiling on a rope and climb up things and jump off them. I was like proper Clubland wild child for a while. And now I'm in this phase, whatever we call this, Technicolor nightmare phase. So it's exciting to me that, because I very much plan to drop dead in a pair of high heels on stage. That is my plan for the future. So it's exciting to me that there's going to be so many more evolutions of what this whole thing is for me. That's the great thing about drag. You can constantly change it. You're a complete invention of your own imagination.
That's who knows what you'll be in like another 10 years.
Yeah, I know.
What will Ginger have transformed into?
Can't wait to find out.
So what were you doing before drag?
I used to work in a restaurant in Covent Garden, and the manager of it knew what I was doing, knew that I was sort of chasing this dream, and she gave me the day shift. So I had to be in the restaurant at 6 a.m. and I would finish at 4 p.m. And then at 4 p.m. I would go down into the boiler room of the restaurant, put on the drag, like sweating as it's happening, totter up the stairs in my high heels, go off and do the gig, work in a nightclub till 4 a.m.
No.
Come back to the restaurant, back into the boiler room, lie down for an hour and try and get some sleep, and then do the day shift. And I used to do that 4 days a week.
Oh
I did
God.
that. You've got to keep plugging away. Wigs are expensive.
Yeah. How much is a wig?
Oh, you don't want to know.
Really? Is it like 1,000?
Depends. The girls who wear like human hair wigs, that can be tens of thousands of pounds for a wig. Yeah. But I don't do that. I wear plastic hair.
You have a great wig.
Thank you.
I'm making assumptions. Maybe that's your real hair.
This is 2 wigs on top of each other.
Is it?
Would you ever guess?
They're mating right in front of my eyes.
Yes. After this conversation, a little baby one's going to pop out. I'm not going to tell you where I put that wig.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, next number.
My next number is 26. And that's because when I was 26, that was the worst year of my life.
Oh.
It was awful. It was really awful for all sorts of different reasons. Personal reasons, professional reasons. You know, I was just tied out and done, and I felt like there was no way out of it. And the fact that I survived it means it's got to be a lucky number for me, because if I can get through that year of my life, then I can get through anything. And when things are hard, I do think, God, just thank God you're not 26 right now.
Absolutely. Lovely.
It's a horrible time of life. 26 is a horrible time of life.
Now, I would say I had a very nice 27. I loved being 26, 27.
Right.
Yeah. I found this period of life way more stressful. So I'm 40 now.
Right.
So how old are you?
36.
Okay. Good luck.
Thanks.
There's a lot going on right now. But then also, in a way, like, you're more confident as you get older.
Do you not find you know yourself more, and it means things get easier?
I do, but the problem is I've chosen to have children, which make things...
Well, that's your own stupid fault, isn't it?
Cats or llamas.
Don't you know the world's
alpacas.
overpopulated?
Yeah. Ginger, where were you, for God's sake?
I was in a restaurant in the boiler room putting my face on, probably. That's where I was. My next number is number 30, because that was the date that I won Drag Race. It was the 30th of November, and it will forever be etched in my mind as the day that, truthfully, my life changed. It changed in a way that I could never have imagined. So that's got to be a lucky day for me from now on. And I'm going to have a party every year on the 30th of November. I am having a party, and I'm going to wear that crown.
Yes. How do you feel about passing the baton on to...
Oh, no way. It's mine. Thankfully, we get to keep them.
Right.
So the whoever wins next will get their own one of them. But the crown, the winner of the first series, the Vivian, has her crown and scepter in like a light up glass box in her house. And I was like, I'm going one better than that. So I've got a little rotating platform. And it's up on a really high shelf, and it just catches the light every now and again. I look up and I go, oh my God, I did that, because I forget all the time. You know, it's not something that's constantly on my mind. And then every so often the light will catch it as it's spinning on its thing, and I'm like, wow, that actually happened.
Did you have to get someone specifically to make you a rotating table?
I got it on Amazon.
Okay. What's your last number then?
My last number is 36.
Yes.
We've had 16, we've had 26, we've having 36. Let's get that demon of 666 number in there, because the devil's got to be on my side.
Fine.
God knows nobody else is. So I'm having that. And also, that's the age that I am right now.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely having the time of my life, and it just makes me so excited for what else is going to come now, you know?
That's lovely. I don't think it comes across anything but really nice. You've managed to make... the very essence of you is the thing that maybe you thought held you back, and now it's the thing that's absolutely driven you to the best year of your life. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
I love that. Like, that is all you can hope for everyone, that at some point you have 1 year at least in your life where you feel like that. Like, amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably all downhill for you now, Ginger, but you know.
God. Well, I'm here for a start.
No, sorry about that. Take the mug home. There you go. That'll do. Ginger, it has been an absolute pleasure, and I love you.
Thank you.
And I want to see you be shot out of a cannon.
Come and see me.
In a heartbeat.
I'm on tour right now.
Catch the next episode of 1 in a Million, where I'll be talking to Collar Bikini. This This is a Reach Studio production brought to you by Lotto from the National Lottery. Subscribe to 1 in a Million wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. I've been your host, Ellie Taylor. Special thanks to the production team behind the scenes, Kate Faithful, Rachel Pickett, Dan Richardson and John Harding. Will you be the next Lotto millionaire? Play on Wednesday and Saturday to find out. Account terms, rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.